With a full game now under his belt, the true journey of Brock Purdy was about to begin. With one of the team's best weapons injured and on the sidelines for the next 3 games, it was time to see what Brock Purdy was truly capable of. So, you just won your first NFL game, and you did it by beating the greatest quarterback in history. Now what? Well, for Brock Purdy, he didn't have time to think about that. After a win against the Bucs on Sunday, the team would be traveling to Seattle to play a game against the Seahawks on Thursday. It would be his first primetime game as an NFL starter. If that wasn't enough, if the Niners came out with a victory, they would officially become the NFC West champions. So, no pressure. Before we get to the game, I think it's important that we stop for a moment to acknowledge what I said at the beginning of the episode, because that will become super relevant in the future. He would be starting this game without Deebo Samuel. While that may seem unimportant at this point in the journey, many people later on will somehow forget this fact, so don't be surprised if I bring it up at least one more time during this series. You know, it's funny, it's hard to believe that we're reaching a point where 2002 is considered old, but here we are. Why is that significant? Well, that's the year that the Seahawks officially moved to the NFC West. The rivalry would remain largely insignificant for many years after that. That was until each team would hire a new head coach. Seattle would hire Pete Carroll in 2010, and the 49ers would hire Jim Harbaugh in 2011. The two coaches were known for their rivalry in college, which then spilled over into the NFL, creating a long-standing back and forth between the two teams that still lasts to this day. But that's not what this video is about. Purdy was heading into this game on what was essentially a 2-game win streak. Now, I know that the records will show that he didn't get credit for that win against Miami because he didn't start the game, but we all know who really gets the credit for that win. But more than that, as a team, the win against the Bucs extended their win streak to 6. And with another win, they would do something that hadn't been done in quite some time. First, they would sweep the Seahawks for the first time since 2011, and they would be 1 game away from sweeping the entire division, something they hadn't done since 1997. To say there was a lot riding on this game would be an understatement, and it was all on the shoulders of a rookie, and not just any rookie, but, say it with me everyone, the last pick in the draft. Oh, there was one other tiny, insignificant problem. Purdy was playing this game with an injured oblique. Despite that, Purdy continued to shine. I wanted to stop it here for a moment. Pay close attention to this touchdown. Not only was it an amazing play design and call by Shanahan, but it would also show off one of Purdy's deadliest weapons. Now, if you said that one of his deadliest weapons was George Kittle, well, you'd be right. But in this example, I was actually talking about his pump fake. One of the things Purdy was known for in college was his excellent pump fake skills. Trust me, this isn't the last time you're going to see that in this series. Moving on. The game was won, the fans rejoiced, and the 49ers, for the first time in many years, swept the Seahawks, and they got to celebrate becoming the NFC West champions. Purdy now had 2 wins under his belt as a starter, and many people were starting to wonder if he was actually legit. Why did I phrase it like that? Well, because there were still a couple of huge questions looming over the team. First, how were the Niners still able to look so dominant after their starting quarterback went down in week 2? That could easily be answered by the fact that the backup to Trey Lance was Jimmy G. He knew the offense better than anyone, so of course they weren't going to look bad with him at the helm. But he got hurt, so now people started to wonder how the team was still looking like they hadn't missed a beat when he went down. And not only were they not looking worse, they were looking better. How? How could the last pick in the draft look this good? He obviously was the last pick for a reason, right? And that's when, I believe, the narrative around Brock Purdy started to form. With only 4 games left in the regular season, Purdy was starting to ascend in his role as a legitimate starting quarterback for one of the most dominant teams of the 2022 season. But with only 4 games left in the regular season, people started to ask the question, how long would it be before Brock Purdy came crashing down to earth? And just like that, the video is done. If you liked what you saw and aren't subscribed, consider doing that now. Also consider leaving a like and comment so that wonderful algorithm stays fed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.